This is KGW News at 11.
Thank you for joining us at 11 on this Christmas. I'm Art Edwards. New tonight, the search for a stolen vehicle taken from a hospital parking garage while the woman who owns it gave birth to her first child. Alma McCarty met the couple from Battleground.
We're thrilled. Yeah, we've been waiting for a long time.
Christmas came early for the Quintero family.
This is little Alonzo. He was born Friday the 22nd at 9:44.
New parents Raylinda and Edgar welcoming their son into the world at Legacy Salmon Creek. The couple arrived Thursday evening and Raylinda had an emergency C-section Friday night.
So we got that done, and it was a very long day Friday night.
While things went well inside the hospital, out in the parking lot, Edgar would soon discover their car was missing when he headed out to pick up medication from their pharmacy.
Which was very odd. I walked around pressing the panic button to see if it, maybe I was tired and maybe I forgot, right? But after, a few minutes, I realized it's not here.
He says he enlisted the help of security, but after searching all parts of the parking deck, they checked the cameras for confirmation.
Shortly after, I went back to the room and security was there and they confirmed, hey, we have video, it was taken. They didn't break the window. They used like a universal makeshift key, and the video shows that them unlocking it, like if they owned the vehicle, and then going in there 30 seconds later, they must have, punctured the ignition or something, and they were gone within 30 seconds.
The Quinteros filed a police report and posted photos of the missing 2018 Hyundai Elantra on social media, hoping that someone may have spotted the car.
If it shows up, it shows up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold my breath if it doesn't. But I think that's just the most frustrating part is, you're at a hospital, you don't expect your car to get stolen at all.
This theft only a year after her last car was totaled in a crash. However, neither Raylinda nor Edgar will let this incident overshadow their Christmas miracle.
We're looking positive and not going to let it ruin our Christmas or, the birth of our new baby boy.
No.
Let's bring in Alma McCarty now, who joins us live from the newsroom. Alma, how are the Quinteros doing?
Well, Art, fortunately, the couple has family and friends in the area who immediately pitched in to help them out, picking them up from the hospital and replacing the stroller they say that was left inside of the car. They count themselves lucky for this reason, since the thieves could have stolen a car from someone without that support system or another way to get around. Art?
All right. Thank you, Alma. Tonight, Portland police are still looking for the person who fatally stabbed a man on a Max platform on Christmas Eve. That stabbing happened just before 6:30 at the westbound Max platform at Providence Park on Sunday. Now, it is not clear what led up to the stabbing, but police say that the victim was able to get on a departing Max train and then rode about 6 blocks to the very next stop at Goose Hollow. That's where officers found him bleeding from the knife wound. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Neighbors are shaken up by what happened, and they're concerned for their own safety on transit.
Christmas Eve, really? You're going to say, let me stab someone on Christmas Eve?
Although the suspect remains at large, police say there is not an ongoing threat to the public. To get you caught up now on tonight's other headlines, it has been a tragic Christmas day on the streets of Portland with 3 fatal crashes in the past 24 hours. We begin with the most recent. About 5 o'clock this evening, officers responded to a 2-car crash on Southeast 122nd Avenue just off Southeast Powell. One of the drivers was critically injured and taken to a hospital where they later died. No word yet on whether the other driver was injured. Southeast 122nd was closed for several hours while police investigated. In southwest Portland, a driver is dead and a major intersection was closed for much of the afternoon after a single vehicle crash. It happened about 1 p.m. at Southwest Barber Boulevard and Taylor's Ferry. Not clear what caused the vehicle to go off the road, but the man who was behind the wheel did not survive. And Portland police are looking for a driver who hit and killed a person on a Southeast Portland street overnight and then took off. It happened shortly after midnight on Southeast Stark and 106th Avenue. An off-duty officer saw the victim down in the road, gave them first aid until an ambulance arrived. The victim later died at a hospital. Right now, there is no information about the vehicle that hit him. You should call Portland Police if you know anything about this. Well, turning to weather now, it was a soggy Christmas day around here all across the Pacific Northwest. Right now, it's 43 degrees outside in the Rose City. Daisy Caballero is in the Weather Center with a first look at our return to work forecast. Daisy?
Hey, Art. Yeah, Mother Nature had a different idea for us. Not a white Christmas, but a wet one for sure. I mean, as you can see on our satellite radar, within the last 6 hours alone, we're finally seeing that next frontal system officially arriving, bringing us rain and also a wintry mix along 84, along the gorge, maybe also bringing folks into the Upper Hood River Valley, some freezing rain. We'll talk more about that in my full forecast, but looking at our rain totals throughout the entire day as of so far, close to 4/10 of an inch here in the Portland metro area, seeing above that in both Vancouver and down in Aurora, 1/2 of an inch or more over in Hillsborough and McMinnville. And check out Astoria, almost seeing a full inch of rain. Now, these numbers for the Portland metro area, we have already seen a little bit more than 7 inches of rain, nearing 8 inches. And this will just continue on really throughout the entire week. It's currently 41, and as you can see, it is raining, and those winds are coming out from the east at right about 17 miles an hour, and will continue to get gustier within the next few days or so. Really quick look at your current temperatures: 41 out in Forest Grove, 42 over in Hillsborough, and believe it or not, we are seeing those 50s out on the coastline tonight. Really quick look at your day at a glance, but again, there's a lot more to talk about, and we'll talk more about it in just a few minutes. Art?
All right, thank you, Daisy. See you in a little bit. Well, today is Christmas Day, of course, and in the spirit of the season, volunteers across the area served hot holiday meals to those in need. At the Union Gospel Mission in downtown Portland, more than 300 people were treated to a Christmas meal and all the fixings, and also a place to feel the warmth of the community.
There's some friends that we have that are homeless that have shared that it can be just another day for them, and we want them to walk in and feel special, feel served, and that we've thought about them, and also just to establish a small little bit of relationship with people.
In addition to today's meal, over the last week, the Union Gospel Mission has delivered about 500 meals to people experiencing homelessness. Another place for those in need to find a Christmas dinner was at Congregation Beth Israel in Northwest Portland. While they didn't have sit-down service, they teamed up with the nonprofit Lift Urban Portland to box up meals to go for about 500 people.
It's what we call Tikkun Olam, which means repair the world. And this is our way of helping our neighbors and being supportive of our community.
The annual tradition began back in 1985, but this is the first year back after a pandemic pause. And in Vancouver, volunteers from the Clark County Bar Association teamed up with the Fish Westside Food Pantry to deliver more than 2,000 holiday meals for the community.
We're serving, delivering meals to veterans groups, to children's homes, to domestic violence survivors, to all kinds of senior citizens. And we've got a crew of volunteers who are taking those and delivering those.
This is the 40th year for the event. And it would not be Christmas without the joy of kids getting some new toys. Today at the Charles Jordan Community Center in North Portland, a team of elves from Toys for Tots made sure that no child went home empty-handed from Mona Lisa's holiday toy buffet.
They come here and they're like, dude, I want that right there, that right there, that right there. Oh man, you know, and the kid next to him is like, I don't want none of that. I want this right here, this right, you know, and I just love how the kids like are able to kind of express themselves in it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. This was the 36th year for the event.